kind of leads pretty much all the way around Derricor, if you will. There's Motopa Hills kind of in between, but Plains of Havoc kind of stretch out to the west and to the northwest.
Daleth, remember that Elven area in DF1? It was accessible through the Tamian foothills. What was that called? That could be that area.
I have no idea. But this is one of the latter areas, so if it was from the original DF or Tamia areas, then this was all re-added.
Well, remember, there were a lot of DF1 areas that were moved. Like they had Fields of Mosarat and Plains of Havoc and Bloodmarsh in DF1, and they moved those to the other realms. I think pretty much Chaos got most of them. But well, yeah, they moved them there.
Let me stop you there because the Tanar'ri Forest is definitely in good, and the Elven Nation border, I'm pretty sure, is definitely a good area. So
it makes sense with the whole elf thing.
Well, sure, and the apostrophe in the name kind of gives it away too. I know that evil has a couple or one, but good has a few.
So do you recognize Elven Nation Border as an area name?
I think so. I vaguely remember that.
Well, in DF1 it was called the Elven Vale.
Okay. I think it's possible that that's actually in Cade as well.
The Elven Vale?
The Elven Nation border, I think. But so here's the progression of lands and good. So you're in Carindale, you go west. You're in Bladegrass, you go to the Azure Rainforest, and that basically was probably the only connection to the rest of the world in Karamir, as far as traveling by foot. So you go through the Azure Rainforest, and then you go through an area called the Wild, I believe, and then that took you to a series of other forests, and I think that in that general direction of going west, you hit Tanar'ri Forest, and then like the Elorian Keep is out there, and good. The Good Realm is pretty interesting because of that. It's not. It's a little. I don't know if you would say clunky or not, but you really can only go kind of one direction, because south led you to the forest of Shalifi's demise, and that I think kind of carried over to maybe one or two areas, but the majority of the areas came from the western side of Carindale. Don't worry, Momo. You'll probably see Shalifi make a pretty cool return.
Wink, wink.
A wink, a wink. Okay, so I'm a little behind here, but 3020 you said was a shrine, right?
Let us see. 3019 definitely is a shrine, most likely an Aordian shrine. And that's area 62 in this client.
Okay.
So, what exactly was the Lorien place called, or did it have multiple names?
My memory is that it was actually called Alorian Keep. Um, or
'Cause
I think it was actually a city. There was the city of Alorian, and then there was some kind of dark version of it. There was like a I can't quite put my mind on it, but there was I believe the city of Elorian, and then right next to it was like a dark keep of some kind that was kind of like an evil faction of the same mobs in Elorian or something like that. Guard Tower and Elven Nation border. It's either Alorian or City of Alorian or something like that.
It's a really cool sounding area, though.
Yeah. Yeah, because there was quite a few items in there too. There was Alorian swords, and I think they made weapons of all kinds. So you had each weapon type from there, and they were decent. They weren't amazing, but I definitely do recall that. Oh, okay. So apparently, I'm seeing the Fury Mountains mentioned inside this area, Daleth, with the tower that you mentioned. So it looks like,
Oh yeah, so it is a Cade area.
yeah. That's what I thought, Brian, when you say UGT. Because I think everybody said, "Oh, I'm going to UG to hunt," and then only the super powerful could go to the UGT. So I think that's why. Well, Darkin, you're not too far off. It's definitely an evil. Mentioning that the area makes you think of warm water in a Tamian bathhouse. Oh, are you talking about the tower that I was in, Mama? Or in this area here right now?
I don't recognize this area at all. Brush and thickets.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think there was some elven border nation kind of area, so I think you think it's Green Mist Fortress? Was that? Can you remember if that was in Cade?
No, I know where she's talking about. That was the Green Mist Ruins. That's not related to that. Thank you, though, Mom. By the way, in one of these rooms, it actually says, after cutting through this foliage of thick, thorny brush. So could it be the Thorny Brush Hills? Huh?
I don't think so. I think this is an area in good, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of the forests around Carindel have a lot of NPCs that are basically animals or beasts. So, and not like any kind of beast, but a lot of eagles and falcons and things like that are pretty common in the good areas. Yeah, that's a good question, Mamo. I do remember Raylan has kind of an extensive little area. And that's actually in Tamiya local. I don't think we've actually connected that yet, but it's I could be wrong though. But
Oh yeah, it's connected. Everything is done with it.
Okay, awesome. I'll have to check it out.
That's where my favorite person is.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
I forgot that was in Raylan. It's possible the Thorny Brush Hills were in good.
They could have been. They are listed on this DFC map as being in Chaos, but we don't know how complete this is.
Yeah, I mean, almost all the rooms in here are talking about how the thorns and the bushes and the brush is destroying your armor, so... I have a feeling that we're in at Thorny Brush Hills.
But we just don't know where it is.
Yeah. Also, if you guys find yourself stuck in an area and you find like what I just found, which is a mudslide, you can take a look at the room numbers that you traveled through to get there, like the last 3 rooms, and if you, like I did, if I was going through like 16, 17, 18, and then I got stopped by a mudslide, then you could test it out and just port to 3119 or something like that, and see if it kind of progresses you through the area.